I have met so many mothers who've lost a child over this past 12 years. And I want to tell you, I have yet to encounter one who isn't grappling with guilt, either right up in their face or running in the background like a broken record. I don't care what the circumstances were surrounding the death of your child. As a mother, we will find a way to blame ourselves. It's like we had one job to take care of, to nurture, to raise, and to protect our child. And we feel like we failed. If you have experienced this, you know what I'm talking about. Your brain is churning, it's spinning, it's rehashing, it's replaying the events, it's changing the circumstances. What if I had said this? Oh, what if I had done that? What if I didn't do that? And it will not stop. It plays over and over, and it is pure living hell. If you are experiencing any form of this right now, please stay with me because I want to share something with you that I did. And much to my great surprise, it literally put all that guilt and crazy making in my mind to rest. Once and for all, it really works. So don't give up. Let's do it. Okay, so in a minute, I'm going to get into the 4 things, and I'm going to tell you if you make it through 2 out of the 4, you will feel so much better. And if you can make it through the first 2, well, what the heck, might as well do the last 2 because the last 2 are so much easier. But before I do that, I need to just very quickly give you a few facts coming straight from the logical brain. So when you're deep in grief, logical brain, not working, not listening, doesn't care. But the truth is, these are 4 really important facts, and you need to hear them, even if your brain is like mine and will be like, yeah, never mind. I'm not listening to that crap. Fact number 1, there is no way to definitively know if you had done anything differently than what you did, that the outcome could possibly have come out any different. There is literally no way to actually know that. Our brain is pretending that we could change everything because we're super people. That's a fact. There's no way to know that. Fact number 2. This is a hard one to swallow. The truth is, it's too late. We can't go back in time. We can't change anything. It doesn't matter. It's over. It's too late. Fact number 3. This mental process is utter crazy making. It is unproductive, it is unhealthy, and it gets us nowhere. Our brain is running the show and it's going to do it. But it serves absolutely no purpose. In fact, it holds us back. And fact number 4 opens with a question. Why? Why in God's earth is our brain doing this to us? It's like we have no control. Our emotions are raging out of control, and the brain is just on a spin cycle. Why is it doing this? And the answer is we have accidentally left an open loop in the brain. So the brain's job is to solve problems. The brain wants everything to be tied up in a neat little bow. Guess what? It's problem solving for a problem that has no solution. It's trying to make sense out of something where there is no sense to be made. But it's just doing what it's designed to do. It's trying to solve this problem, and it's an open loop, and as long as it stays open, it's going to spin and spin and spin. Okay, let's talk about these 4 things that I did. I'm going to tell you right up front. So, my daughter, who was 18, she committed suicide. Cannot even describe the guilt that I experienced after losing her. She was a prolific writer. She journaled everything. She had notebooks and notebooks everywhere. Okay, me, not really so much. I was busy mom, didn't have time for that. That seems kind of silly. Never did it a day in my life. Step 1 is to write a letter. I didn't even own a journal. I dug through a drawer and found some old notebook and started writing. And it started out like this. Dear Lisa, I am so upset right now, and I don't know what to do. And I just want to tell you what's going on. I need to talk about this. Then I proceeded to take all of that stuff, and I mean, there was a lot. Turning every dialogue, every situation, everything where I should have done this and could have done that, all of that stuff that's been running through my head for months. I took it all out of my brain and put it down on the paper. Now what you're thinking, ugh, who wants to do that? That doesn't sound fun. It's not fun. But the truth is, if you do it or don't do it, your brain is doing it anyway. You might as well do it one more time. Take it out of the brain, put it down on paper, and I mean everything. Every detail of every stupid thing that happened that you're so upset about, that you think you blah, 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 blah. Get it all down. And once you start writing, oh God, you'll be surprised. It'll start calming. I mean, calming and calming and calming. Lots of pages. Let it. It needs to. And one of the things that this does is it makes room in your brain by taking it out of the brain and dumping it onto paper. So this is step 1. I have to warn you, this is not something you can dribble on here and there when you get a few extra minutes. Plan to sit down and do this, okay? If you put it down, you will not ever pick it up again, because let's be honest, blah, nobody wants to do this. Once it starts coming, let it come. Let it come, and don't stop here. Please hang in there. Don't stop before step 2, because all of the healing comes in step 2. So if you only do step 1 and then you stop, you're just going to churn it all up, stir up the pot, and you're not going to feel any better. In fact, you might even feel a little worse. Okay, step 2. Tell your child how sorry you are. Say you're sorry for everything. I didn't ever mean it to go this way. I thought that I would ever, I'm so sorry that somehow I wasn't there when you needed me. Oh gosh, I still get emotional. I wasn't there to rescue you like I always thought I would be. Say you're sorry. And I'm going to tell you, if you weren't already crying in step 1, you are going to be bawling in step 2. Let the tears come. I know you've cried 1,000 tears already, but these tears are so healthy, because you need to get this down on paper and say that you're sorry. Because guess what? This gives your brain closure. And it feels so good. And I'm going to tell you, I cried, oh my God, 1,000 tears when I was writing this. And when I was finally done crying, I was exhausted. But then something happened. This wave of relief, like a 1,000-pound gorilla taken off my chest, and I could actually breathe. And it was so, so healing. It was so healing. I need to explain for a second why this is so powerful. Not only does it close the loop in our brain, which is a physiological thing, we need the forgiveness. We need to ask for the forgiveness, and we need to feel the forgiveness. I know wherever my daughter is, she's not somewhere out there making a list. Oh, mom, boy, did you mess this thing up? Ooh, wait till I tell you all the different ways you screwed this up. I know that's not a thing. We need it for ourselves. The truth is, I don't think we really even need forgiveness because we did the best that we could at the time. But we need the forgiveness for ourselves. We will not let ourselves off the hook that easily. And if you're not going to let yourself off the hook, then you might as well just ask for forgiveness and feel the forgiveness. Never, ever underestimate the healing power of forgiveness. If you only get to these 2 steps and you do them, but I got to warn you, watching this video isn't going to do it. Don't watch the video and then say, oh, isn't that interesting, and scroll on to a funny cat video. You gotta actually do it, and I know it might sound terrible and painful, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of is, but you're already feeling terrible and painful anyways. Why not just try it? And if you only do those 2 steps, I would say that was 80 to 85% of my relief. So now I'm going to tell you about steps 3 and 4. And I have good news. Steps 3 and 4 are so much easier. Don't worry. If you made it through 1 and 2, 3 and 4 is like a cakewalk. Step 3, and this, I didn't obviously do it. Don't do them all in the same day. 1 and 2, if you make it through 1 and 2, you need a couple days to rest. But a few days later, something happened. I felt so much better that I kept going. And I took it 1 more step, which actually turned into 2 more steps. Step 3 and step 4. But they were super easy. They weren't hard, but they took my relief and bumped it up even to the next level. So we're going to sit down with the paper again for step 3, and we're going to write a letter again, only this time to guess who? I wrote the letter to me. Dear me, I am so sorry. We start with the apology on this one. The opposite. Dear me, I am so sorry that I made you the scapegoat to take the fall for this horrible thing that happened, as if somehow it's all your fault. And like somehow you could have prevented it or changed it or even had any say in it at all. And I let what happened completely overwrite the story of who you were as a mother, as if how whatever happened at the end was all that mattered. What about all those other things that you did? They count too, okay? Not just those last handful of things that happened at the end. It all counts because you are an amazing mother. Okay, so step 3 is where we write a letter to ourselves and we say we're sorry to ourselves. But step 4 is actually really important. And when I tell you what it is, you might have the impulse to blow it off. Nah, I don't need to do that. That's, nah, don't. Okay, don't. Step 4, if you're going to do 3, just do 4. And I'm going to tell you why. In step 3, you say something like, all those things matter that you did. And in case you forgot what they were, let's take a look at some of them. And you start making a list. I mean, an exhaustive list. And I'm sure you could fill an entire notebook with all the amazing things you've done. You don't have to fill the whole notebook, but you need to keep going for a little while. Let me explain why. Your brain has been on a witch hunt. Okay, your brain appointed itself judge and jury, and guess what?
Guilty. Guilty.
This is all your fault.
My fault?
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
And what has your brain done? It has accumulated selectively all of this evidence of all the reasons that you are guilty. And it has completely dismissed all the counter evidence, thrown it away. No, we're not looking at that. You're guilty, and I'm going to show you why. You need to be your own defense attorney. You need to put some new evidence into the case, because if you don't, somewhere in the back of your brain, it's not going to be totally convinced, and it's going to be still thinking, yeah, I don't know, I still think she's guilty, and it's still going to be churning some of that stuff. So you need to tell it why. You need to show all the evidence to the contrary and just keep going. It might be 10 things, it might be 20 things. Just keep going until your brain finally gives up and says, oh my God, okay, I get it. You know what? You were right. I was wrong. We're going to throw this case out. There's no case left. I guess you were a good mother after all. And if you do that, your brain will put it to rest and you will be done. And you know what? Looking back at some of that stuff, it's good for you and your brain. Those are positive memories. When we lose our child, it's so easy to get stuck in all the painful memories. Those are really good memories, and they have an impact and they count. I hope you'll try this. I realize this video is pretty heavy. For some reason, God has called me to share my experiences through grief, because we need peace. And this was a big piece, pardon the pun. This was a big piece in finding my peace. And if you can find the courage to do it, you will be so amazed at how much better you feel. And if you don't feel up to it, mark this video for later. Put it in the back of your head. Maybe you're not quite ready yet. Come back to it, because it's a very important piece. And you should not be dragging that guilt for the whole rest of your life. If you tried this and it helped you, please share it in the comments below. I would love to hear about that, or how you are dealing with guilt in your grief. Please like and subscribe to my channel, because it really does help my channel to grow. And in my next video, I'm going to share my favorite 10 ways to calm down our crazy minds when we just can't quiet our minds. And you can find that video on the top right over there.